I'm the all-new Lexus RZ 450e, the first ever battery electric Lexus here in North America. Now, this is the premium. There's only two grades for the RZ. There's a premium and the luxury. So this premium comes in at one of the lowest prices you can get this car for, a little over $60,000. And today I'm going to tell you what it's like to drive and what you get on the inside of this vehicle for $60,000 as well. Now we're in the model with the dapple gray interior. You can get this new RZ with three interiors. There's the Palomino, which is kind of like a tan or like a light brown. There's also the new color, the Thunderstorm, which would be the color I'd be getting. I like the contrast, and it's like a little bit of blue with macadamia. So it's like a blue and cream combination. I like that, but you know, this dapple gray is kind of like a charcoal. It's much better than what would be like a straight black color. On the outside, this particular model is the Iridium. You also can get Ether, which is the all new color, but unfortunately we don't get the copper color that is offered on the RX, for example. You can also get in white, black, and silver like this one, and then also a dark gray like this Tesla in front of us. It is called Cloudburst Gray. There it is, came to my memory. So we're driving the all new RZ. It is super quiet. Now, this is the first one I've driven that has the 18-inch wheels. Not only do they give you the best range, but they should also give you a softer driving experience. And I'll find out as I'm driving today. And because this is a base model, we don't have the suede seats on the front and the back or the doors, but we still have so much like interior goodies here. I do have the head-up display equipped on this model. As you can see, the customizable steering wheel. I have the 360 camera on this model, as well as the optional parking assist. Those come as a package. Actually, the 360 camera comes standard, but the parking features in here, auto parking with the head-up display, and the digital key comes in an additional package. Now, you also get a standard double sunroof on here. What's different on the premium is that you don't get the dynamic sky sunroof. There's another button here on the luxury models. It's an option on the luxury models where you can totally dim out the sunroof because there are no sunshades on it. And Lexus says that allows for you to have more headspace, which is true. I just don't know how well it would hold up in South Florida with how sunny and hot it gets down there without that dynamic sky to block out all the sun. Now, the 14-inch screen is standard no matter which RZ you get. You have heated and ventilated seats, but you also have this cool feature, which is this radiant heat that comes down from the bottom of the steering wheel, or also at the bottom of the dash here where the glove box normally would be. Instead of the glove box, we have a little pass-through at the bottom, which actually has the suede insert on it, even though that doesn't have suede anywhere else. So just like the luxury model, you get suede insert for this cargo area underneath the cup holders, for example. Comfort in here is excellent. You slide around in these seats a little bit more compared to the suede seats. There is no leather in this vehicle, and that includes the steering wheel. The steering wheel does feel so soft. Now, when you turn on the radiant heater, you actually get a little smell. It almost smells like dust is burning or something. So you have that going on in this car. It goes away, but when you initially turn it on, it almost smells like you're turning the heat on in your house for the first time in a while. And I just hit like a dip in a pothole, and these 18-inch wheels just completely soaked it in. Didn't even notice it really. Hit another pothole there, they just glided over it. So the way this is set up, the smaller wheels, the larger tires, this is going to be the better riding experience. However, the 20-inch wheels, especially the optional ones on the luxury grade, just look so good. That would probably be the route I would be going, even though you give up about 24 miles of range. But I mean, 220 to begin with isn't that much range, and this is going to be a city dweller's car for most people buying the RZ. Also on this premium grade, we just kind of have this silver plastic here. I'm so glad Lexus didn't make it like glossy black. We have a little bit around the shifter and around the screen, but this is kind of like a matte black or matte gray plastic. But alongside of this plastic piece here, we do have some really soft bolstering here to protect your knees. Also, not only there, but you have it on around the switches on the door. So where your knees are in contact with the door and the center console, it's being absorbed by the soft padded like Nulux synthetic leather. Now, even though this comes in around $60,000, I still have a digital rear view mirror. That is actually optional on the premium as well as the luxury. I was in a luxury model right before this, and it cost about $67,000, so $7,000 more, and it actually didn't have a digital rear view mirror. Now behind the steering wheel is a small 7-inch MID. It takes up like half of the available space here. So like this cutout literally looks like Lexus could easily put a 12-inch screen in there that we see in the Highlander and RAV4, but for some reason they've stuck with this small 7-inch screen. The new Crown has a screen that's also way bigger than this and much higher resolution. Now you do have paddle shifters here for regen, but it's not one pedal driving, and in my experience, like including this car, it's hard to modulate the braking performance and the braking predictability. And yes, you have lots of safety features in here. It's hard to modulate and predict the braking with the regen braking all the way down. So I just leave it off and I use the brake pedal. The brakes in here are very predictable, very smooth and strong at the same time. Now, as being Lexus's first electric vehicle, we need to talk about range as well as performance. Every single RZ is a 450e, at least at launch. And so that gives us a 150 kilowatt motor up front and an 80 kilowatt motor in the rear, which equates to about 308 imperial horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 is 5 seconds on this vehicle. With these wet conditions, I haven't been able to test it. So this looks a little bit more flat. So we're gonna go try it again. Not the smoothest of road surfaces, but when you're putting down all the power to the wheels with this direct force system, 4.98 0 to 60 and 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 5.3 seconds. We have a 71 kilowatt hour battery, essentially sourced from Panasonic. It's Toyota and Panasonic's joint venture, and it has 150 kilowatts of DC fast charging and over 7 kilowatts of AC fast charging, or should I say AC level 2 charging at home, which will charge this car from 0 to 80% at home in about 9 to 10 hours. On DC fast charging, it'll charge the car up in about a half an hour from 10 to 80%. Now that I'm at stop, I'm playing with the head-up display. You guys won't be able to see it, but it actually goes really high up into my vision, which is great. It's not sitting right above the hood. Also, it'll show your regen setting in the head-up display. It'll also show you your turn-by-turn. It's probably the best head-up display I've ever tested. It's very bright, it's clear. And let's see here, can I get around? I don't see anyone over there. We're just gonna get into the gas here. And I said the wrong word, right? It's accelerator, pedal, or throttle. You get a little bit of noise when you get into the pedal, probably past 50–60%. It gives you kind of like a fake engine noise, but I think it sounds pretty good. Most of the time, the motors and the sounds pumped in here are just non-existent, and it's so quiet. It's probably the most quiet Lexus I've ever driven in. And that's saying something, because Lexuses are known to be so quiet and removed from the environment. It's a very luxurious experience in here with the materials, the smoothness. It is the smoothest Lexus ever, right? It's even more smooth than the V8s. It's not as satisfying as a V8, but it is more responsive than a V8. Pedal down. Yeah, it's quick. Top models, you get additional safety, like traffic jam assist, front cross traffic alert, lane change assist. For me, those things are completely unnecessary. You do have a brake hold here, which I feel like is pretty much all you need for stop and go traffic. And of course you have radar. Oh, there's a BZ4X right there. That was cool. Of course you have a radar cruise control in here as well. Also, something that hurts my heart a little bit is you can't get Mark Levinson here on this premium grade. The only way you can get it is going luxury. And so if I was in the market for an RZ, I'd be going luxury. I like the 20-inch wheels, the look of them more. I would be okay giving up the 20 miles of range. And if you're getting close to using, the full range on this car, maybe you look for either an EV with a bigger battery pack, or get a Toyota or Lexus hybrid that's going to, not give you any range anxiety and plenty of efficiency. Throwing this in the turn, just crazy immense acceleration there. And the 20-inch wheels definitely handle better than this. Like, it's a more satisfying experience to throw in the turns than these cushy 18-inch wheels. But it's good to have options. And I actually think these 18-inch wheels look a bit dorky. The design of them is not my cup of tea. And if you're really worried about the range because you take a couple long trips once or twice a year, guess what? Lexus has you covered with their Lexus Reserve program. They allow you to rent up to 30 days, and you can break that up however you want, but up to 30 days of free rentals from Lexus, any Lexus dealership on the app. And I keep missing my turns here because I'm talking, but you have 3 years to use the 30 free days of Lexus rentals when you don't think this car is going to meet your needs for traveling longer distances. So what do I want to see from Lexus with their next EV, or should I say, or even future iterations of this? Well, I can live with the range, but it would be nice of them to have maybe a single motor model that gives you more range if range is your concern. I think Lexus has trademarked the RZ 300, and so that would just have the 200 motor up front, 200 horsepower motor up front, like the BZ4X. And 0 to 60 would be under 7 seconds, which is still plenty quick. Not as quick as this, around 5 seconds, but still very smooth and probably as fast as, let's say, an RX 350 hybrid, or maybe even a little bit quicker. Also, I want to see a more performance-minded version of this vehicle. It's very aggressive on the outside while still looking elegant, but where's the F-Sport, Lexus? Where's the F-Sport performance? Give us 300 kilowatts, which would give us 400 horsepower, and this thing would rocket to 0 to 60 in around 4 seconds, and give it maybe bigger brakes, a little bit better suspension. Sell for around $75K, and I think you have a very worthy opponent to the GV60 performance from Genesis. But would I get this RZ over an NX and RX? Oh man, that's tough. I think the ultimate no compromise would be the NX 450h Plus, assuming you can find one. But this thing is faster, it's smoother, it's quieter than any NX or RX, and it is better than either of them as well. So yeah, I would be happy to spend, especially the RX 500h. I would take this over the RX 500h without like even thinking about it. The RX 350h and NX 350h's, those are amazing hybrids, really efficient, and there would be no comparison either with the turbocharged NX or RX. I would pick this every single time, despite its limited range on paper. And the brake feel in here, oh my gosh. Nice and buttery smooth, very luxurious, super predictive. There's no weirdness going on, at least when you don't have the regen braking maxed out. So easy to bring it to a nice slow stop. That's something with the E-Tron last week I wasn't able to do. Like, it had a great brake feel and the brakes were strong on the E-Tron, but bringing it to a smooth stop was always difficult. Not the case here. This vehicle feels so much more refined than the E-Tron, and it cost about 20 grand less than the example I drove. Actually, 26 grand less than this particular car compared to the E-Tron I drove last week. It's just as fast and it has about the same miles too, and it has better material. So this is definitely a way better option than the E-Tron. On paper, it is a little underwhelming. Only 308 horsepower, only 200 or so miles of range, but you bury your foot and you're spinning your tires up to about 35 miles an hour. Like, the performance is there, the smoothness and quietness and the comfort is there. I say that over and over, but you're just constantly reminded in this car just how good it is, despite it looking so meager on this stat sheet. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna finish by keeping my foot down with a smile on my face. Thank you and have a great day. If you enjoyed it, smash the like button. I'll catch you in the next one. Signing out from the all new, fully electric Lexus RZ 450e.